I would definitely rather have Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees after my ass than go through what the people in this movie did with this virus. Let's get into it. The movie I'm referencing is 1995's Outbreak. This movie was made on a budget of 50 million bucks. Wolfgang Peterson directed this film, and we got an all-star cast here, folks. We got Dustin Hoffman, we got Donald Sutherland, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Rene Russo, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Patrick Dempsey's in this film, and there's other recognizable faces throughout. Don't think I didn't notice George Wilbur who played Michael Myers in Halloween 4 and 6 is in the one pickup truck in the one scene in the movie in the town trying to get out when the army basically quarantines the whole town. That was really cool. I noticed that a few watches ago, but it gave me a smile when I saw him on Saturday night with my wife and I watched this movie again. This movie pretty much starts off with, I'm probably get the dates wrong, I just watched it. I think it's late 60s, maybe mid 60s. The Army infectious disease unit goes to Africa. This village is having an outbreak of something, and people are dying. And when they go in the tent, you can't see their faces, but you know it's Donald Sutherland and Morgan Freeman by their voices. They have protective suits on. And they're walking through the tent, and it's African villagers sprinkled with some Americans. They don't say why the Americans are there. I assume they're aid workers of some kind. And the doctor's saying how quickly it's spreading and they can't contain it. And Donald Sutherland assures the doctor that we're going to send help. And oh boy, did they send help in the form of a big-ass bomb that vaporizes the whole goddamn village and wipes everything out. And then they don't tell anybody about it either. And we fast forward to present day, or 1995. And we're introduced to Dustin Hoffman and his wife, played by Rene Russo, although they're divorced now. Rene Russo used to work for Dustin Hoffman in the Army, but now she's going to the CDC to run her own department. And Dustin Hoffman gets called to go to Africa. There's an outbreak in a village, and they need him to go take a look at it. So he goes, and us as the audience see a lot of the same symptoms as the scene back in the 60s. And the doctor assures Dustin Hoffman and Kevin Spacey and Cuba Gooding Jr. that it's not airborne, so they don't have to worry about contracting it through the air. And he explains how fastly it kills, and so they don't think it really spread anywhere besides this little village. And but Dustin Hoffman's concerned. He's like, if this gets back to the USA, it's going to cause havoc. So when he gets back, he tells Morgan Freeman about, let us go, let us do research, we can come up with a vaccine. And Morgan Freeman says, well, don't worry about it, it's not going to get here. And he's like, well, yeah, but it's very deadly. He goes, yeah, but if it's killing so fast, it's about 1,000,000 chance it's going to reach the U.S. or even anywhere outside that village. So he kind of blows him off and tells him he's sending to New Mexico. And in the meantime, he tries to get Rene Russo to send out an alert to the CDC, and she's kind of hesitant about it. She goes to her boss, and her boss kind of blows her off as, oh, I know you're used to be married to him and you have allegiances there, but we're not going to send out an alert. Well, in the meantime, trouble does find its way to America because Patrick Swayze plays this worker at customs where a monkey from right outside that village was captured and shipped to the U.S. And he's going to smuggle it out of customs and sell it to this pet store owner in Cedar Creek, California. You can see where this is going if you've never seen this film. So he gets it out, and he's driving it to Cedar Creek, and he's playing with the monkey as he's driving. The monkey spits water into his mouth, which is, right away I would have threw right up all over the freaking car. But, so he takes it to the pet store. The pet store owner doesn't want it. He says, the wrong monkey, I can't sell this. The guy who wants this monkey, this is not the right monkey. So you got to get rid of it. And while they're there, the monkey happens to scratch the pet store owner and he draws blood. So on the way to the airport, Patrick Dempsey stops by a forest and lets the monkey go. In the meantime, the pet store owner starts getting sick. On the plane to Boston to visit his girlfriend, Patrick Dempsey doesn't look good at all. He looks like a zombie in the seat. And when he gets to the airport, he hugs his girlfriend and then he kind of has a seizure and gets taken to the hospital. Rene Russo gets word of it and she flies to Boston. And she talks to Patrick Dempsey's character for maybe a couple seconds, and then he dies. And his girlfriend's right next to him, and she's showing the exact same signs, lesions on her face. She's kind of bleeding out of, her eyes and stuff. It's very frightening. More frightening than getting chased by a serial killer, definitely. By far. Because at least you can fight back against a serial killer. A deadly virus you can't fight back against, unfortunately. Not like that. And all of a sudden, Cedar Creek, the pet store owner goes to their little hospital there, and they take a blood sample, and the tech in the lab gets sprayed with the blood sample. And he starts not feeling good, but he goes to the movies with his girlfriend, and there's a scene where he sneezes while he's in the movies, and you can see it spread out in the air and get sucked up in the central air and spread all over the movie theater, which is cool how they showed that, how quickly something could spread like that. Well, here we come to find out this strain of, they call it Mutaba in the movie. They do show little enhanced slides of the disease, and I was doing some research on the film, and they said they took those slides. That's what Ebola looks like under a microscope, and because they do reference Ebola in this movie as well. And all of a sudden, the town's on quarantine from the army. Dustin Hoffman defies orders, goes to Cedar Creek. And as the movie goes along, Dustin Hoffman discovers that the army, that Morgan Freeman's character and Donald Sutherland's character knew about this disease before. This is a different strain now. It's gone airborne now. So it's mutated. And they need to find the monkey that brought it here so they can get antibodies and make a serum, so people can get better. But Donald Sutherland wants to firebomb this town in America, which is... and Morgan Freeman's like, you can't firebomb. You know how crazy people are going to go if you firebomb a town in the United States of America? But he just wants to hide it because it's underlying. They don't come out and say it, but you get the feeling that they're using it for a biological weapon, the army. And Donald Sutherland wants to keep it quiet. And Cuba Gooding Jr. and Dustin Hoffman basically save the day. They get a serum, they cure people, and they stop the firebombing in the town. That's pretty much Outbreak. Now I know this is definitely. Outbreak's kind of like the more entertaining, although frightening, version of Contagion. Even though this movie's older, this movie came out way before Contagion. I like Contagion, but I think the rewatchability on Outbreak's better. I've always enjoyed watching Outbreak. They keep Wolfgang Peterson does a nice job with the directing. He keeps the pace moving. The story's very interesting. The acting's awesome. I just really like Outbreak. I prefer it to Contagion. Contagion's a very well done movie, no doubt, and probably more accurate than this movie. But I prefer Outbreak. I prefer the story. I prefer the way the story's handled. It's just more entertaining. If you just want to sit down for an entertaining movie, this is definitely the more entertaining movie of the two. And I know these two are really high. I saw an article that people are renting the shit out of these two movies because of what's going on with this virus going around. And I own the Blu-ray, so Saturday I was like, hey, let's watch this one. I was like, okay, let's watch it. Because we've always enjoyed watching this movie. And I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I really like this movie. It's well done. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, checking it out. It's very rewatchable. It's very entertaining, and the cast is top-notch. And that's it for me. 8.5 out of 10 for Outbreak. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Join me here. If you've seen the movie, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this film. Do you prefer Contagion or do you like Outbreak better? Which one do you prefer? And I will be back soon with another review. Have a great week. And that's it. See ya.